What's funny about the MT-09, I've had motorcycles that the first day I rode them, I loved them, and as time went by, I found all things I didn't like about them. And I've had bikes that were not my favorite at the very beginning, but it grew on me over the years went by. The MT-09 from day one to 14,000 miles this afternoon's ride, every one of those miles, every one of those rides, I have just been mesmerized. And I know my friends get sick of hearing me say nice things about it, but the truth is, it is true. I really have fallen in love with this bike. Thank you, Karen, a great birthday present. Well, when I got up this morning, I checked the local weather. It just couldn't be any better. We are slated to go into the 60s, maybe even the 70s by tonight. We are coming up on a real nice part of the riding season, and I don't want to miss one ride. Now, after an extra cup of coffee, today I needed it. And I know this is going to be a beautiful day. We've been checking the weather every day. And today, the fish are in full eat all day mode. I have no idea how much these fish eat. But they have no idea how much I eat. So I guess it's a good, fair thing. Anyway, we wanted to get ready. As always, I want to pre-flight the bike, check the air in the tires, do the normal walk-around check, just like as if you were flying an airplane. No difference. I have found that to be a cheap insurance on not getting a flat, or in the times I've picked up a nail, I catch it before I go out on the open road and before I'm 40 or 50 miles or more from home. And we're in the bug season, and every ride requires getting the bugs off at the end of the ride. I don't like leaving them on there. There's acid in the dead bugs, and they can spoil the paint job or just be ugly. And I do enjoy riding a clean bike, and especially this bike. This bike has just been so good for so long. It has totally got me spoiled, and every ride I have on this bike just seems better than the ride before. Well, the back roads finally are totally salt-free. They're clean. It's rained the last couple of days. Roads are nice and clean, salt-free most of all. Minimize the time I have to clean the bike when I get home. I really appreciate it. Now, as I've said in the beginning, this bike, it was wonderful the first time I rode it, and I really responded to how light and nimble and easy to turn around on a narrow street. Just everything I wanted to have in a daily driver bike. And what's really a free bonus is it has really stood the test of time. Of course, one of the accessories that I really enjoy is that Valentine radar detector, and it just frees my mind up most of the time from trying to have eyes in the back of my head or whatever. But every one of the rides that I've ever had on this bike, and I've had them all with the Valentine, I've always felt I can just have fun, and not have to constantly be looking in the mirror or down the road. And it's the only bike in my collection that I have traction control on. And usually in the winter when it's salty, I get to use that traction control a lot more than in the summer. But it's always there. It's like money in the bank whenever you need it. And it's the only bike with a quick shifter that I have in my collection. And I keep wishing when I ride the other bikes, sometimes I wish I had it. Now, whether I'm riding in residential areas, some of these areas I rode in today, residential, there's a lot of law enforcement as you get out into the open. and into the lake area where it's a little bit less traffic and a lot less law enforcement. And one thing I have really come to appreciate is the drive modes on this bike. And in the beginning, like the R1, I wasn't thinking, it won't be that important. But as I've gotten, this is the third riding season I've ridden the bike, 14,000 miles. And I've gotten to where I depend on some of these safety features, the ABS, the traction control, and the drive modes all. Now, when I painted the wheels, and that's a while ago, I put on a brand new set of Michelin 5s, and thank you, Vlad. They have worn better than I ever thought they would. I have heard from other people that the various tires wear better, wear worse, but these, and Jose has become a believer in the last year too, all of the Michelin tires, the 5s, and I'm going to be testing 6s. I already have a set in inventory. And no matter what area you ride, in farm area, residential, the mountain area, or around the lakes, no matter what, it's really nice getting 50 miles to the gallon. And I get about 150 miles before that light starts flashing and it's time to buy gas. Now, I know people with MT-09s that have put a lot of money into the suspension. I haven't put any in. And for my riding style, and you can pretty much decide on your own, the suspension so far has been fine. And I have to admit, I never get sick fooling around with that quick shifter. Oh, man. Until you have one, you don't know what you're missing. And I didn't know what I was missing all those years. And when I added this bike to my collection, it rounded out the one every 10-year period that I've been involved in motorcycling. It's over 60 years, and I've got one bike from every 10-year period, starting with the RD, and this is the final, well, we don't know. I'm 77 now, and thank you, Karen. This was my 75th birthday present, but I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see. Now, if you've ever ridden a 600cc sport bike like an R6, you know you have to really rev it to the moon to get even just get away from a light. Anyway, what's nice about this bike is the torque, the low-end torque, and the power spread is just beautiful on this bike. Somewhere on every ride, usually about between 2 and 3 hours into the ride, you start to appreciate the seat. And I'm always amazed. It looks very thin. Whatever material they use, it seems to be pretty comfortable to me anyway. And most people that have one agree. Now, I made a lot of the carbon fiber parts for this bike from scratch. The parts up by the headlight, the windshield extensions, all little side panels. And to be honest about it, I love the way it looks. And when I bought the bike new, I looked around and I had a little check-off list of things I wanted to do in the paint work. But the big one is always painting the wheels. And I've lowered the forks, gone back halfway, lowered them a little less, loaded them a little more. I think I finally got it where I want it. Now, there's one thing about the bike, it's a little hard to define to me. It's fun to ride. Whenever I get on, fill up the gas tank and go for a day of riding, the thing I remember or I think about is just fun. And it's there. We're exploring today. You're looking at some of the farm country where there's some horses here. And the various things in the farm area, the lake area. And you can just enjoy a day of just exploring the back roads or blasting down the highway. Now, I have the factory manual, and it looks like, to me, that about 99% of the maintenance on the bike when it comes time for the maintenance, and we're not at it yet at 14,000, there's no maintenance. Adjusting the chain has been the only maintenance, really. But it looks easy to do. And this has always been one of my favorite stop-offs. I call it the bear. And I noticed today, there's 2 bears. And the other one is in the back. Now, the people that own this home, they're very gracious. One time I was taking pictures of the bears with the GS. The woman came up the driveway, stopped, said, "Do you want me to take a picture of you?" Super, super friendly. And I had to admit, the bears are pretty cool. Very cool. And I'm anxiously awaiting to see how long these Michelin 5s are going to last. Because in the past, I have had real good luck with Michelin tires. I even have Michelin tires on my minivan. And it seems like they're as grippy as you could ever want. And it looks like they're lasting great. And on the way back, I just have to be amazed at how much I've fallen in love with this bike. And 14,000 miles later, the love affair is still torrid at best. And I just love the modifications I've made. I love the way it looks. But most of all, I love the way it rides. We're going to have lunch on the porch? What a beautiful day this was. Wow. Wow. I hope Jason, our next door neighbor here, I got to give him a shout out. He's got a Harley Sportster now, a classic one. Thinking about getting an MT-09. Jason, just go down and do it. But it's true, Jason is considering getting an MT-09. Boy, is he going to, well, he loved this if he gets this. Woo. Anyway, as always, we always try to take advantage of the nice weather. Listen to the birds. I gotta edit that out. Birds. How about a little respect? Anyway, it was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful part of the year. And I don't know what else to say other than hope you enjoyed sharing a ride with us. Oh, I have had a passion for motorcycles virtually my whole life. I might have inherited it from my father, who had motorcycles virtually his whole life. Was always involved in motorcycling and racing of some one type or another. I don't know if I inherited that or not, but I have managed to assemble this humble collection of bikes, one from every 10-year period. I've managed to do some custom work on pretty much every one of them, and I've been able to have this YouTube channel where I can share the passion I have for this wonderful sport of motorcycling. so much for watching.